Welcome to my new office, and if you're new, of course, welcome to the channel. I'm Amanda, and here we are all about shattering the mental health stigma. I was just feeling very uninspired, and I felt like my office wasn't a representation of me. And this is a place that I spend a lot of my time, so I wanted it to be some place that inspired me and some place that really was a reflection of my personality and of my dreams and my desires and things like that. So I felt the need for a makeover. And also, my boyfriend moved in last weekend, so I felt like I just needed to solidify my control over my little area. And I really wanted to mark this as a new beginning and a new chapter in my life in many ways. And it's definitely something that I've been looking forward to for a long time, something that I have been very excited about. I've had all these thoughts and dreams, and we're in such a healthy and happy place. I did not expect to be suicidal this week. I started taking a new medication last weekend, and this isn't an anti-anxiety or an antidepressant. This isn't even a sleeping medication. It has absolutely nothing to do with my mental health. Before you worry, yes, I'm completely fine. I'm just trying to be proactive about things that come up and make sure that I'm taking care of my health. Now, anyone that knows me knows that I don't take medication often. With mental health medication, and I have been getting picked on dozens of them, I would have really horrific side effects, from hallucinations to not being able to breathe to feeling so dissociated that I thought I was dead or I thought I was dying, and I would just lay on the floor and scream. And this was even at the child's doses. I just did not react well to prescription medication for depression or anxiety or various symptoms like that. But I also have adverse reactions to a lot of medications like opioids and stuff because of my previous addiction. So when possible, I try to avoid taking prescription medication of any kind, and it's been very successful with my mental health, but something came up physically that needed to be addressed. I'm not beyond taking medications when I need to. I just like them to be a last resort. In this case, it's turned into be a last resort. I am incredibly grateful right now for how self-aware I've become, because people who are diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, or BPD, are known for having very shaky identities, a very shaky sense of self. And I've been told by many, many professionals that I'm the most self-aware borderline that they've ever met. And it's true. I am very, very self-aware of myself, of my needs, of my thoughts, of shifts going on. So I will know when I'm having a splitting episode. I will know when something is off and it's being caused by something else. And I want to go through some of the things I've been experiencing, and then I will explain why I know that this is a reaction to medication and not just an imbalance, not just situational depression. The first thing that has been happening is mass splitting. Splitting is a phenomenon that's very common with individuals diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, individuals living with this disorder. And what it is when there's someone in your life and they love you and they care about you and you love them and you care about them, but something will trigger, and you don't always know what it is, but something will trigger, and all of a sudden they are the bad guy. They are the villain in your story. And it often takes time and focus and breaking down the limiting beliefs and challenging the shadow. There's a lot of things that go into combating a splitting episode, but with me, I've been doing this to everyone. All of a sudden, I'm just feeling very detached from everyone, all the people that love me, all the people that I love. I'm just feeling very, very detached. The second thing is dissociation. I have dealt with dissociation a lot in my life. When I have panic attacks, I will often dissociate. There's times when I'll just be walking around and suddenly things don't seem real and it feels like I'm on a movie set or like I'm in a dream or something, and I just feel outside of myself and a little to the left. So I'm not a stranger to dissociation, but all of a sudden I just started having dissociation spells out of nowhere, and they came on very strong, which is also kind of weird because usually mine build up, but they came on very strong and they were happening multiple times during the day. I've also just been having crying spells throughout the last several days. Just randomly, I'll start uncontrollably sobbing, and there's not any thoughts that are prevalent in my head. There's nothing at all going on in the moment. It's just all of a sudden I lose control and I start really dysregulating emotionally, which is another trait of BPD, but my symptoms have been pretty darn good the last couple of years, particularly the last several months. So it's been really strange that all of a sudden my emotions are just all over the place, from splitting, which comes with a lot of anger, to crying spells. And it's just been very dizzying, which I think is partially leading to the dissociation. But there's also a massive disinterest, confusion, a shift in desire. So these things that I desperately wanted a week ago, or a month ago, or a year ago, or 5 years ago, these big goals that I had, these big things I wanted to accomplish and achieve, suddenly I'm going, no, I don't want this at all. I hate this. This sounds awful. And my personality drastically shifted because these core desires, these things I really work for and look forward to and dream of, suddenly seemed like nightmares. And the final symptom that I've noticed, because, well, you can't not notice it, is, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, suicidal ideation. It's been a long time since I've really had these things come into my mind. But the difference is this time, it doesn't feel like it belongs there. When I was suicidal before, when I would have ideation, when I'd have thoughts, when there'd be attempts, I felt like it belonged there. I felt like it was a part of me. And this time, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like it is something that is intruding upon me, like it doesn't belong in my mind, like it doesn't belong in my life right now. And it's not particularly the guilt of, oh, I have so much to be happy for, so I shouldn't feel this way. It just feels very foreign to me. And perhaps that is because it's been a very long time since I felt like this, but I also think it's because it's not me. It's not my actual thoughts. It's not my feelings based on experience or based on my environment or based on circumstances. It's something that is afflicting me at this time. Now, there's 3 reasons I am led to believe that these things are driven by medication and not by circumstances or not by an imbalance or anything. First of all, because they all started almost directly after starting this medication, shortly after starting this medication. Secondly, because none of them are alleviated whatsoever by sleep. And in my previous days, I would really get slammed with bouts of insomnia, so I'd be kept awake a lot and that would exacerbate my symptoms. But when I could get a decent night's sleep, it would at least take the edge off the symptoms. It wouldn't make them go away, but it would at least take the edge off. And this time, that's not happening. But the most important thing for me is when I would have suicidal ideation in the past, or I would have dissociation, or I would split with someone. I have never really mass split. That's not something I have experienced particularly, but all of these symptoms, when I would experience them in the past, they always had a trigger. There was something going on in my life that was driving these, was pushing these, that was bringing these to the surface, that was causing my brain to be malfunctioning the way it was. It was my mom passing away, or my miscarriage, or a breakup, or something like that. It was always something that was causing my brain to short circuit, and it was always something that I struggled to deal with, something that was bringing a net negative to my life. So it wasn't, I'm planning this big happy thing, or I'm having this life shift, because at first that's what I thought too, is okay, maybe it's just I'm having this big change and my mind isn't sure how to process it or accept it. But when I reflected on my past and my mental health, even during the darkest times, it would always have some kind of root, some kind of seed, some kind of focus. So when I was having the suicidal ideation, or when I was splitting, or when I was having this disinterest, my thoughts would be narrating why I'm having these things in some abstract way. I don't know if that makes sense, but it would be narrating why I was feeling so distressed, why I felt that I needed to act upon these things, be it through a suicide attempt or through self-harm or through drugs. There was always, you need to do this because you're feeling this way, because there was always an explanation, there was always a trigger. There's not an explanation or a trigger this time. I'm not gonna lie, the last few days have been absolute hell, and I haven't felt energized enough to do content. I haven't felt energized enough to really take on anything other than my very base responsibilities. And that's one of the things that I've done during this time, is triaging my responsibilities. I've also called the doctor to alert them of this reaction to the medication. I've alerted my loved ones. I brought awareness to my choices, so I'm not spiraling into bad decisions that are going to make my mental health worse. So I'm not spiraling into drinking. So I'm not spiraling into eating poorly. So I'm not spiraling into giving up on my daily yoga or just little things like that. Now I've taken a step back and said, we're going to do more gentle relaxation yoga right now, because one of my big goals for 2022 is doing yoga every day, and so far so good. But I've really had to be very aware of my choices so that I'm not adding to the intensity of these symptoms right now. This came at a time where I was already facing a variety of challenges and of life shifts and life changes. And I genuinely believe that this is an opportunity to recalibrate and to process and to heal a lot of the struggles that the past year has bestowed upon me, blessed me with, and even older ones that I've overlooked or that I've pushed aside or that I thought I had healed, but I hadn't. I think that this is a wonderful opportunity to just take time for myself after so many big changes and so many things have happened to me, for better or for worse, and really reconnect with myself and focus on what's important to me and focus on these goals that I know deep inside I'm passionate about, and I know deep inside I still want to pursue, but my shadow, for whatever reason, is feeding on these medications going, no, you don't want to do any of these things. These things are bad. These things aren't going to make you happy. You're never going to be happy, Amanda. Everything you put in your body can have an effect on your mental health, even if its primary purpose is not mental health focused. And it's very important that we have that strong sense of self, that we learn or relearn who we are, what our strengths and weaknesses are, how we can combat things when they do arise, because it's so important. That's why it's in remember that dissociation? That just started kicking in. Okay. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, so that just happened. I mean, what better place for it to happen than on a channel about mental health and on a video where I just wanted to share with people that whatever you're putting into your body, be it a prescription medication, be it an herbalist supplement, be it food, be it the things that you're intaking visually or auditorily, all the things that we intake can affect our mental health. Even if that's not its primary goal, it can affect our mental health. And it's very important, number one, that we know what to cut. Number two, that we know what to add. And number three, that we have a strong skill set to deal with the unexpected. And these are things that I teach in my free 5-day challenge, in my Happiness Boost course, because it's so very important that these things all be in place for us to reach our optimal mental health. And I've had so many students say, wow, I had no skills whatsoever on coping with panic attacks, on coping with dissociation episodes or emotional dysregulation or feelings of inadequacy. And they found their strength, and they finally got to learn, because we don't ever get taught that anywhere else, they finally got to learn how to build a toolbox for themselves and for their mental health. But I really just wanted to share with people that medication can affect how we process things, and it can affect our brains, again, even if that's not its primary purpose. And I just wanted to be honest with everyone that I won't be posting as many videos, and if I'm a little behind on my reaction requests and stuff, then I'm really sorry for that. I still have them on the list. I'm still going to be doing them. I just might be a little bit behind. I don't want to give up creating content because I do have a passion for it, but right now I have to be doing it on my own time, and I have to be focusing on this recalibration and this healing and this processing that needs to clearly be coming to the forefront right now. There's a lot of things that just need to be shifted and need to be dealt with, and I need to put my focus on that. So while I want to be creating content, I have to be doing it when I feel inspired to and when I feel the energy to do so. And unfortunately, that means I'm going to be moving my Friday streams to every other week instead of every week, but I will still be available here in the comments, by email, by messaging me on Instagram. I still will be available, but I'm going to be on social media and on my phone less. So I'll be checking things daily, but I'll just be creating less content and being on those things less as I step away, just to make sure that I'm the best version of myself so I can present that to you guys. I will still also be doing the Friday Q&As for all of my students, all of my Happiness Boost students. I will be doing those Friday Q&As in the Facebook group. I'm not giving up on you guys. I'm not going anywhere, and I know you understand. I don't even know why I'm saying all this, because I know you understand. I know I don't need to explain myself, but I want to do that because I love and respect you guys as much as you love and respect me, and I just have to be able to focus my energy accordingly right now. And I want all of you to look to me and say, yeah, that's what I should be doing. I should be focusing my energy on myself and on healing and processing and getting through tough times or big changes or anything like that. And I know that I'm going to be okay. Don't worry, I'll be okay. Like I said, very self-aware. I realized what was going on. I'm taking all of the precautions, keeping myself safe. Just wanted to let you guys know that this happened. This all happened. And sometimes unexpected things do come about, and things hit our mental health that we didn't see coming. And it's important that we know how to manage those things when they do come. So I will say I apologize for less content. I hope I have enough in my library to keep all of you entertained for a while, to keep all of you growing and learning with me. I love you guys so much. Mwah.